What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 48. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and today I am joined by one of our mods, Pi, aka Pilicious. Pi, thanks for being on the show today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Remember, guys, you can watch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011, live every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you watch it live, of course, feel free to join in the conversation with us, talk about what we're talking about. Would be glad to have you. If you can't catch it live, remember you can go over to youtube.com, search Enigma9011, where it's broken out topic by topic, but also put as one big video for your amusement. If you guys ever have any topics for us that you'd like us to discuss, you can always leave it in the comment section down below or join us on Discord where there's a specific tab for that. And then last but not least, guys, remember we are brought to you by the merch store. So you can get all of your Enigma 9011 swag over there, t-shirts, backpacks, cups, and more. You can help rep the brand, support us. It would be greatly appreciated. So Pi, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. I think I caught, well, I didn't catch it from you, but I know you were saying you had that sinus thing going on. I think I got my own going on. I don't know what it is, but I'm
I
stuffy.
transmitted it through the internet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is. People are saying it's allergies, but as far as I know, I'm not allergic to anything, but I don't know. I mean, there's always something that could be going around or
Yeah.
could cause it. So, I mean, other than a little pain on the cheeks and the stuffiness, I'm doing fine, but it is what it is.
Glad it's just those things and not anything else.
yeah, hopefully it stays that way. So yeah, Pi, you've been watching the stream for a while and been a mod in the channel, so I'm glad we could finally get you on for the show and talk about some stuff. Obviously, we've talked about our topics beforehand, but we'll get into them as we go through the podcast. But we got some interesting ones talking about a little bit more in depth about you and then what I've been doing. So we'll kick off with my topic. Lately on stream, we've been playing some story-based games, some visual novels, I think they're what they're called, that you've recommended, like Danganronpa, and then now we're going through Zero Escape. I kind of want to know, like, how you got, I guess, interested in these titles. Like, what kind of inspired you to play them or start playing them, I guess.
What really started was Danganronpa, watching someone else play through it. It caught my attention, so it's like, hey, I might as well give it a try. It seems interesting enough. And for Zero Escape, it was more word of mouth, hearing that it was kind of similar to Danganronpa and finding out it's by the same developers. Like, got me interested in that and went through that and had fun with it.
Okay. Yeah, since you've recommended them, obviously we've gone pretty hard on them on stream. Like Danganronpa 1, obviously that was very trial and error, I guess. But
Yeah.
we fell in love with that pretty quick until 3. But and then Zero Escape has kind of followed the pattern. So they're definitely fun. What would you, I guess, recommend for somebody who maybe is a little bit hesitant on playing them?
There is a free one I've heard about. I haven't played it myself. Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay.
And then one I've recently been going through is Zenkai Zero, which is again by Spike Chunsoft.
Mm-hmm.
And then Phoenix Wright is another good series to go through. That's visual novel based.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they definitely focus obviously on their storytelling, and that's the big draw. It's not combat based or anything like that. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more laid back and just has a good story, then that's definitely something you guys want to aim for as you're playing. Do you have a favorite one that you would recommend overall if somebody was to just pick one?
The Danganronpa series,
Okay.
easily.
What about Danganronpa like connects with you the most, I guess?
I just really like the story of it and how all the mystery plays out and just the different aspects. The class trials and everything are pretty fun too, and especially with 3 mini games. those are pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's kind of attracted me to both the games you recommended so far is just the characters themselves. They're so. I mean, yeah, you got the grounded ones, but then there's some that are just obscure as all hell, which, I mean, makes sense. At least in Danganronpa sense, anime. Well, Zero Escape still is anime, I guess, but. So,
Yeah.
if you like wacky characters, that's always definitely a draw. Um, so, I know you've connected with a couple characters in each game. Do you want to kind of run through, at least Danganronpa, like 1, 2, 3, which characters you kind of connected with the most, and why?
My favorites from Danganronpa 1 were definitely Chihiro and Celeste.
Mm.
Simply because I like their character design, and Chihiro kind of have similar personality to, I'd say. Not all there, but certainly part of it. And I just like the whole Gothita that Celeste presents.
Mm-hmm.
And Danganronpa 2, I actually have sticky notes for these
Nice.
characters, believe it or not. My favorites from Danganronpa 2 are definitely Furihiko and Gundam. Furihiko, yeah, he starts off as a bit standoffish, to say the least. But then after certain events transpire during the second chapter, I believe it is,
Yeah.
he kind of turns over a new leaf, and you can really start enjoying him. And Gundam's whole persona is just
Yeah, he's a
very
fun one.
yes. I've yet to actually do all the things in V3 simply because there's so much to do.
Yeah.
But Kokichi is actually one of my favorite characters in that one. Simply because I like his pranks. Like, he just thinks like a prankster, and it's not meant to be taken maliciously. And so it's all fun for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it for V3. I don't remember. I liked Gonta pretty well too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he's just a lovable doof.
Yeah. He tries his best, but doesn't know exactly what it is always.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some, like I said, interesting characters. I think the biggest one we've been, like, opposite on has been Lord Emperor, dude. Kokiji.
Kokichi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I don't get it, but I mean, each character you can kind of dive in more separately and learn more about their backstory. And I just never personally invested into his, so maybe there's something going on there that you saw and I didn't, that kind of lent towards that. But yeah, there's quite a few interesting ones. I made the joke on stream because we're playing Zero Escape, which, if you don't know, has a lot of branching storylines and numerous endings. So the first time we played through, the ending we got, someone happened to be the antagonist or evil or whatever, and we made the joke that I seem to always go towards the bad people, because Danganronpa 1 was the same way. I didn't really Danganronpa V3 it didn't happen. I'm trying to remember 2. I don't think so. But
I don't think so either, because I don't think you would be able to predict that
Right.
particular character.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was. Well, okay, kind of with 2, because I did like was it Nagito?
Yeah, Nagito.
Yeah, there you go. I
I
mean,
mean,
he
you like
wasn't.
him, I hate him.
He wasn't the big bad, but at least he was like kind of a dick.
Yeah, definitely probably the villain of the series outside the ending.
But yeah, it's just like obviously going into it with no knowledge and then being like, oh well, shit, you're bad.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with Zero Escape, it plays out differently depending on what path you take. It was just very, very funny how the first ending we got was that's how it played out.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's going to be the same for 2.
No,
I
great.
don't think so, but maybe.
Yeah, we'll be starting. Crap, what is it? Last reward.
Yeah, Virtue's Last Reward.
Yeah, so I'll have to see how that rolls out. Um, so obviously I've played Danganronpa. I've played Zero Escape. You've recommended Phoenix, right? That's on the wheel. Is there another one that you would recommend or want to see me play? I guess.
Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going through Zenkai Zero. It's pretty good. It's
Mm-hmm.
mostly visual novel based, but it's more of a dungeon explorer with the visual novel aspect.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't really played much else outside of that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. Is there something that you feel like these games are missing, or maybe like to see better in other games?
Uh, Repeat that first part, kind of cut out.
Oh yeah. So, is there anything you think is missing, or maybe that you want improved in these type of games that you've played?
Uh, I don't really think so for the
Mm-hmm.
most part. At least from Spike Chunsoft knows what they're doing with their visual novels, and I haven't really played much outside of that besides the Phoenix Wright.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh, yeah, I don't really think so.
Mm-hmm. I had a question and then it blanked out of my head. Oh, crap.
Happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I got it. So, at least out of the two examples that I know, do you prefer Danganronpa's story where it's more linear, or do you prefer the Zero Escape where you have the branching opportunities, I guess, and endings?
That is a good question. I do like the linearity of Danganronpa quite a bit. I'm much more of a linear story type of person.
Yeah.
But I did really enjoy the branching alternate timelines of Zero Escape and theorizing who could have done this and this and this and this timeline and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Then you haven't really dived into, but that plays with the alternate timelines a lot more.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think I'm on the same boat with you because I definitely like the point A to point B story with all, they have their own twists and turns as it goes. But obviously everybody having that shared experience, you can talk about it more freely or coherently, I guess.
Yeah,
But I like the like choose your own adventure style of Zero Escape.
fair. It's a bit easier to write the story to have more twists and stuff. It is more linear compared to the multiple timelines thing,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, I can't imagine like working all that. Like if you did this, then this will happen. This and then this will like I don't know. I think that would be very confusing. Because obviously
Yeah.
they intertwine for their shared moments still.
Yeah, I would say this so.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Virtue's Last Reward because obviously I enjoyed Nine Doors so much. Like I said, I don't know if I'll go for every ending like I did with this one, but we'll see. And then the escape room mechanic of Zero Escape is very fun as well, and just figuring out the puzzles. So I think that's a big draw for at least Zero Escape a little bit more than Danganronpa is the puzzle game mechanic. Like obviously, if you like puzzle games, I think that these virtual novel games that have them, that's a draw to it too. Danganronpa kind of has it, but I don't want to say they spoon feed it, but it's more
Railroaded?
yeah, like whatever you need to find, you can't leave until you find it. And then Zero Escape, obviously it's the same because you're stuck in a room, you can't leave the room, but you gotta use your brain a little bit more instead of
Yeah, it's
just
like a
inspect everything.
yeah, it's a bit of a different aspect to it for sure.
Mhm.
Because with Danganronpa, it's more of a murder mystery. This, with Zero Escape, you're trying to get out of a room and you're locked in, so you need everything you need to get out of that room.
Yeah.
Where in like a murder mystery, in real life, you could possibly miss something.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, at least for the like the investigation phase, obviously Danganronpa, like Pi said, is the murder mystery. You have the trial, so you kind of have to present all the evidence, or at least figure out what evidence goes where. Which I think that's more of its strong suit compared to the investigation stuff. Um,
Yeah, I'd say so.
because you got to be smart, and that's when you really think about like, okay, what would counter argue here, or whether it's a mini game, how do I figure out and solve to move on? Because you can fail there and obviously pick the wrong people. Um, but yeah, they each got their strengths. So I think that would be my biggest advice for people who are maybe a little hesitant on visual novels. Like, there is a puzzle aspect. It's not literally just sit here and read text over and over again. There's a lot of it, but it pays off when you get to those points of gameplay and puzzle.
Yeah, and those are some of the better virtual novels for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that are just a lot of reading and minimal choosing, and those are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on what you're into too. Obviously, like if you like reading a lot, you might just enjoy the text. It's just another way of getting a story delivered to you. But if you
For
want a
sure.
little bit more hands-on, then yeah, that puzzle aspect and mechanic might help.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. Um. Hmm. I don't know. I guess that wraps up my topic on those. I don't know. Do you have anything else to add about visual novels and why they're good?
Uh, they just have really good story to them for the most part, and I really enjoy them.
Yeah, that's the big one. If you give it a chance and try the story out, and you want a good story, then these are definitely good games to go to.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to topic 2. So Pi, what is your topic today?
I just want to get a little bit personal. It's like, what is your motivation to continue streaming?
Mm.
I haven't streamed in a while. That's because I've been doing other things and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back into it for sure, though.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, what is your motivation for streaming?
Well, okay. I mean, I'm sure I've told this story numerous times already, but I didn't think I was going to stream at all or make content or anything like that. It was actually a friend of mine who wanted to get into it, YouTube-wise. I figured I'd help him out. Thought it'd be fun. And we had another friend join us along the way, and then my buddy John turned me over to Twitch and was like, "Oh, you should check this thing out. You know, people playing games live and talking with people and just playing them right then and there." And I was like, "Okay." So we checked it out. We decided to give it a try. And my friend said, "Yeah, you seem to really have a handle for this, or at least like I did better than them. They thought. I don't know.
Natural ability, maybe?
Maybe. Um, so yeah, from there it was the drive was let's make this thing happen of the channel together, and you know things happened. They didn't want to do it anymore, or just didn't have the time, whatever it is. But when I was doing it, it became fun. It was a hobby. It was something to put time and energy into, and an outlet, I guess you could say. So obviously I've been streaming for a while now. I think 2015 was the start, around April.
Something like that? You just did like your 3-4 year anniversary, I think
Yeah,
it was?
something like that. So yeah, 2015. And it's funny, I have like this notebook in my room of like all of our notes of like when we started the YouTube channel, when I started Twitch, and like what our schedules were and stuff like that. So it's always funny looking back at that notebook and be just like, oh boy, this is what we were trying to do. And I always go back to that notebook and write down like yearly stats. Just, I don't know why. It was just something I did after the first year. And it's nice to look back and be like, oh, this is how much you've grown or whatever it is. Um,
Nice to reminisce.
exactly. So, what motivates me now? Well, first things first, it's definitely a time, obviously, to sit down and just play games. I've noticed recently, like, games are obviously I still love them. I want to play them, but sometimes the desire to play them and finish them is very hit or miss. Um, there's been a lot of games that have come out this year where I've started it, I've enjoyed it, I like the game, but just for some reason either the next thing came along or I just stopped playing it altogether. An example I can think of is God of War, because I've been playing that again recently, trying to get through that. Kingdom Hearts 3, I made a decent way through, but then stopped. And I mean, this has always been something I've done, unfortunately, but I don't have like the drive I did when I was younger to be like, oh, let's go home and game and play this and, you know, beat it and stuff like that. So stream has definitely helped me of set aside a time like, this is your time to relax, this is your time to play games, and you know, use it as a backlog opportunity to beat games I haven't in the past, because sticking the schedule and whatever. um but it's nice obviously seeing the same people over and over again, like yourself and Lady and Rainbow and, you know, Jeff Reg and all these people, and chatting with them, and building a friendship and bond. And over last year, I know I was very motivated by numbers. Like, I was very driven to get numbers. Let's get viewers, let's get followers, let's get subs, you know. And it's definitely needed in a way. But
Yeah,
it can also be very toxic in another. And
very much so.
oh yeah. And I mean, just like anything, it's a very competitive field, and obviously with the times the ability to stream has become more accessible, so you like literally anybody could do it. You can do it from your PS4, you can do it from your Xbox, or if you want to get fancier, you know, grab a webcam and mic and stuff like that. um but I was noticing a downtrend of like, I'm thinking about this way too much, and that's not good. Obviously the goal is to be better and do better, but if I have a negative feeling about it all the time, what's the point? So recently
Yeah.
I've been just trying to have fun with it. A lot of people recommend play things you want to play, which I've always done for the most part. Um, but yeah, I don't know. My big motivation, like anything, I want to improve. If we reach that pinnacle of whatever it is, you know, great. But as long as I feel like I'm benefiting and improving myself from this, whether it's my social abilities or my presentation abilities or graphics or obviously building friendships, like, I think that ultimately is better than anything else. Um, so yeah, I guess that would be my motivation, is I want to get better at it, but I want to be positive about it
That's pretty good motivation, I'd say.
too. um, but
Personally, oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was about to ask you, like, I know you stream yourself. What would you say motivates you?
Well, personally, pretty much my main motivation is one, trying to clear out the Xbox catalog,
Mm-hmm.
which is growing by the day, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if I'm just able to be there for someone who just wants to talk to someone or just needs someone to be there for them, if I'm able to be there for them, then hey, that's good. I'm helping them out, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to help others. Not much in ways of the amount of or the amount of things that motivates, but I'd say those are important motivators.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, and I mean, you don't necessarily need a list for anything. Like, some people just have their goals off of one thing. Like, I want to do this, and they just go for it. And yeah, I mean, this whole process, while it's had up and downs, I wouldn't have changed anything for anything. Um, like I know obviously John and Jones, who were the people who did the YouTube channel with me. Like I have no hard feelings against them. I mean, I have nothing but thanks for them. Like especially John for putting me on this path. Because this is never something I thought I would do on my own. Um, and it's led to so many opportunities and just experiences. Obviously, you know, the friendships with you and the other mods and the viewers. Um, the kind of funny community. Obviously, I was just a fan in there, and I'm still, you know, not the most outspoken guy there by any chance. But there's friendships and bonds there of, you know, hey, we stream, hey, we should play something together, whether it was Super Killer Bunny, whether it was Uber Brent, whether it was Snowbike Mike, just all these people and connections we've made on Twitch through live streaming. And then obviously going to TwitchCon was amazing and learning more about that and meeting more people. And then going on Kind of Funny and doing the podcast. Like, I would never think to go on camera, be in front of all these people, and talk about yourself for 40 minutes and answer questions. Like, that was never me as a kid of let's public speak or anything like that. And I mean, I'm not still going to be the first person to jump up and like, yeah, I'll talk in front of 1,000 people. Hell no. But it's more, it's way better than it was. And I feel like even with 2 people watching, this platform has given me something that I can improve myself in with talking or just being comfortable with myself. Like, that's a big one too. Because, yeah, obviously you got people on the internet who are assholes, but there's a lot of people who are just out there, like you said, just want to talk about stuff, whether maybe they're having a bad day or they want to talk about a game that they love. I mean, I remember the first time he popped in, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Yeah.
I don't think I had anybody else in there. And we were just like, hey, let's talk about this game that we both love and enjoy. And, I mean, you've been watching for 3 years? 2 years? 2 years you subbed, and then, yeah, probably 3 years.
3.5, maybe?
I want to say it was
Something like
2016, 2015, because that was California. So, yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while. And that's just off of one game. And you stuck around. So
Yeah, I like the personality.
exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity on this platform to obviously find new friendships and grow yourself, and other people can grow it from it too. Because I remember you weren't streaming originally, but now you're giving it a try, whether it's on Twitch or on Mixer. And yeah, obviously other people find things that they want to do on this platform. Obviously Twitch has kind of opened up from the game since it started. Like, obviously they got cooking now, they got the esports stuff, they got wrestling on there. There's a lot of shit going on, and everybody can find a benefit from it, whether you want to do painting and just work on that, or I know Snowbike Mike he wants to work on commentating for himself, so he hosts the tournaments every once in a while. Or just, you know, spending time with friends. Like, Jeff Reg always talks about it in his stream. Like, you could be doing 800 other things right now, but you chose to come in here and hang out with me, and that's awesome. Like, just hanging out with friends, playing a game, flipping out on the console because of how wacky a game that is. That was a fun adventure Friday night. But it's a lot of fun. And that would be my big thing for anybody if they're watching this, and whether they want to make content or just wonder how it's done. Like, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's about your mindset, just like with anything else. If you get too in your head about it and question everything, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. You're going to stress yourself out too much. And I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm the best and I'm the most successful, because no. I mean, I'm successful in other ways, but not numbers ways. But I would definitely recommend, like, just be yourself, play what you want, try not to worry about numbers. They're important, but don't get all wrapped up in them. And, you know, the rest will follow. Obviously put yourself out there, because nothing's going to happen on its own, but
Yeah, if you don't start streaming, you can't go following.
exactly. So be ready for the grind. Put work in, put time in, and even if you have a strong community of 20 people, that's 20 people you didn't know before, or at least a group you didn't have before.
Very true.
So, so I actually want to kind of flip this back on you. I know you talked about what motivated you. Like I mentioned, you kind of recently went over to Mixer. What was your thinking behind that?
For that, Twitch is very oversaturated in terms of streams because it's like you said, everyone can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mixer is a bit of a smaller platform, I think, and so I think there is more opportunity to grow on that for me.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing this for, like you said, 5 years. I barely started last year. It's very hard to get start later on.
Yeah.
And on Mixer, I think there's a bit more discoverability for newer content streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've seen, I haven't been on there very long, but like it has its own benefits to itself too. Like I think one of the more recent things they're doing is that they found a way to somehow allow people to support their streamers if they don't have any money to do it themselves.
Okay.
So they're very helpful towards streamers. To I don't know if I don't know how helpful Twitch is. I think they're pretty good about it. It makes it seems more streamer friendly at this point.
Okay.
I don't know, and because it is a Microsoft service and I am going through the complete Xbox collection, it just seems like a more natural home for it.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And that's about it for that.
All right. Yeah, you mentioned new streams, like discovering them. That's something that like I noticed myself doing, and I know a lot of people do it. Obviously, you follow some channels, and those are your go-tos. There's not. I don't know, at least for myself, I don't find myself like going to look out of my way for other people. And I should do that more, of just being like, pop in, like, see if some people are cool, does this person resonate with me or whatever. It's a big networking thing, because you can bounce off audiences and stuff like that. I mean, going back to the Kind of Funny guys, like, obviously, Snow White Mike, Super Killer Bunny, like, there's some back and forth audiences there. I mean, maybe they don't stick around as much, but at least they would pop in and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 check in real quick. All right, cool, have a good one. Something.
Yeah, it's
but
something.
at least you get that foot in the door, and then, maybe gradually they'll hang out more and more, and you go from there. But yeah, that's good that Mixer has that discoverability. Because I totally agree. Twitch is giant in its user base. And,
Yes.
I mean, I remember when Mixer started, like, that was a big, not joke, but it was like, oh, really? This is a thing? But it seems like, I know, obviously you're on there, and then another friend of mine is on there, but it seems like it's working for them. So, like you said, it's a little bit more niche, whatever you say it, for the
Niche,
Xbox community. And if people go there and they're enjoying themselves, then more power to them, hopefully it's a more tight-knit group and things can happen, and if it works over there for you and it grows, then that's awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, just a little bit scary just doing whole fresh start.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like, you can definitely... Yeah, it's always the positive and the negative. Like, fresh starts are good, but yeah, I totally understand, like, because you got to start from square one and getting people in the door and watching you. I think I'd like it just for the reimagining or like redoing
The
of
re-imaging.
yeah, exactly. And just going fresh foot forward, like, okay, nobody knows me here, so I could do something different or present it differently. But yeah, I totally understand the not negativity, but the um,
Downside.
downside, your timidness to the fresh start. Totally makes sense. But yeah, you put in the time to it, and you have that angle of the Xbox collection. Not many people have that, so that might be a draw to you and yourself um, that people kind of resonate with.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case.
Hmm.
Either way, I've been enjoying it.
That's good. That's the important thing, as long as you're enjoying it. Because if you're not, then what's the point, as we talked about?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you got for that topic, Pie?
No, not really.
All right. Well, I like that one. That was good. I appreciate that. It's always nice to kind of rethink, like, why are you doing the thing you're doing? Because, it can either reinvigorate your energy, or maybe you just got to take a step back and kind of re-look and think about everything. So I appreciate that.
No
That was
problem.
good.
It's always good to just think upon things and evaluate them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so we're moving on to topic 3. If this is your first time watching the podcast, when I have somebody new on, I like to take them through the lightning round of questions, just so you guys get to know them a little bit more as a viewer. So, Pi, I'm going to ask you some quick questions. Whatever is your gut reaction answer, just go with that. And if there's anything that you want to kind of elaborate on or explain, you can do that as well, but totally up to you. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, first one. What is your favorite color?
Orange.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Favorite game?
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, I came in seeing you. This game I grew up with, and like, I think it was fifth, sixth grade. I used to have to go on a bus to school because my parents didn't want me into the intermediate centers.
Mm-hmm.
So the closest elementary school was like almost in the next city over.
Wow. Okay.
So I had to get on the bus at like 5:15 in the morning and just do like an hour something bus ride.
Mm-hmm.
And the Final Fantasy Tactics Advance helped me get through that, and why it's one of my favorites.
Nice. Favorite movie?
Alpha and Omega.
Okay.
It's a bit of a niche one, but it's something about it. Just those romantic films always get me for some reason, and I just love them.
Favorite type of music?
Techno.
Okay. Favorite song?
I generally just have like described two, as in one from the My Little Pony fandom, because for a long while there I was a brony and still kind of am. I'm basically fallen out of it at this point.
Okay.
So on the My Little Pony side, my favorite would probably be Between Fairy Tales and Happy Endings by Prince Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then just regular music would probably be I Can Walk on Water by Bass Hunter.
Okay. Cool. What was your dream job when you were a kid?
Video game animator.
Okay. If you could have any animal to be a pet, what would it be?
Real or fictional?
Up to you. Totally anything you want.
Two options there. Either a Moogle from Tactics Advanced or Sableye from Pokemon.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, his OC over here is a Moogle, so there you go.
Yes.
Let's see. If you could meet one celebrity, regardless of status, who would it be?
Ooh. In person?
Yeah.
Probably you.
Hey! Wow. Let's see. Favorite season?
Winter.
Okay.
I very much prefer the cold over the heat.
So many people are saying that. You guys are nuts. Favorite holiday?
Uh, Either Halloween or Christmas. Mainly because a lot of the other holidays revolve around food. I'm not big on food.
Okay.
And Halloween, especially, Halloween is basically National Cosplay Day.
True. What is a skill you wish you could have?
Uh, Probably like pixel art. That's always That's recently became like about 2 years ago. Became kind of like an interest of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like to dig into, but I just don't have the time to dedicate to it.
Fair enough. All right, last one, which might be a tough one because you've been given a lot of them. But what is a game that you would like me to play?
Mentioned this on stream once, but I'd like to see you go through Dead Space since I have,
Okay.
and I'm not big on the horror franchise season, and I know you're not
Nope.
too big either.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be interested in seeing your reactions to things.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, this has been another episode of the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 48. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 911, and today I was joined by Pi, aka Pilicious. Pi, thank you very much for being on the podcast. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. I had a pretty good time too.
Good. Remember, guys, you guys can catch the podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you guys want to join in the chat and join in the discussion then, you're more than welcome to. If you can't catch it live, go over to youtube.com, search Enigma911 where it's broken out topic by topic, but also put as one big video for your amusement. If you guys ever have any topics for us, feel free to put it in the comment section down below or join us on Discord. You can put it in that tab respectively and we'll get to it. And then remember, guys, we're brought to you by the merch store, so you can get all of your Enigma 911 swag over there, t-shirts, backpacks, cups, and more. You rep the brand, help us out. It would be greatly appreciated. Pi, once again, thank you for being on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a very cool experience.
Yeah. So guys, we will catch you guys on the next one. Hope you have a good one and take care.